Hello and welcome to a film Mixologist, the place on the internet thingy where marine heaven and hell collide. Case in point, there's two units. I just got from a customer. Basically, he wants me to go over this new unit here, which he bought because his old one is a bit knackered. Let me show you around. So just take a look at this. And here as well. And this is pretty disgusting. And look at the throttle plate. So this is the original carb from that the customer kind of had on the boat. As you can see, there is a little bit of corrosion here. So obviously this, in this condition like this, is never ever going to work. So anyway, he bought a new one. Here it is. So what I need to do now is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna kind of disassemble this, give it the once over, maybe change the gaskets, just very quick, simple rebuild, no no craziness, just making sure that it's in perfect shape, and off it goes back into the customer. So now what I need to do is start checking it over to see if it's okay. Okay, so one thing I need to show you here is the cleaning technique that I'm applying for this fuel bowl of this absolutely knackered marine carb. And what you see in here is basically, this is the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm obviously cleaning some parts with it, as you do. But this metering block and other parts of the marine carb, what I've done is I've dunked them in straight petrol in the ultrasonic cleaner. And now what I need to do is, as you can see, I've done like half of it is submerged, half of it isn't. What I'm going to do now is switch it around so that all of it is submerged, kind of half an hour and half an hour. And what this does is this allows me to clean it with a solvent. So my theory, what I want to achieve is that the petrol is going to act as a solvent for all that kind of white crud that was there in the metering block, which was absolutely disgusting. And I'm obviously cleaning some other parts as well, which is a bonus. Okay, so now I'm at the stage where I can show you the results of the cleaning process, and I need to start work on this unit because what's the deal here? So what's happened here is that the person who owned this boat, obviously this carb went badly wrong, the engine went badly wrong in the boat as well. So, and he said to me, okay, and he bought another carb, and he said to me, okay, why don't you go through this carb? So I kind of got to a deal with the customer saying, okay, if you let me have your parts carb, and I keep it and I fix it and I do whatever I want to do, I'm gonna service your carb for free, basically. So now I need to start doing this. I'll first show you the results of the cleaning process. Okay, so as you can see here in the fuel bowl, I had to remove quite a lot of material. But actually, I think this fuel bowl, even though it might have a bit of kind of material eaten here, this fuel bowl is actually salvageable. Which is good news for me because these fuel bowls aren't easy to come by. And remember this, it was full of junk here and here. Again, this is salvageable because I've got enough of a seat for the jets here, so just about salvageable. I think I got it in time. One of the things you need to remember with this is that when you got this sort of corrosion, you need to really get rid of it as soon as humanly possible because it gets worse and worse and worse. The body, yeah. So this is we're in good shape here, goodish shape. I need to clean it maybe a little bit more, but now it's considerably better for what it was. So now what I need to do is I need to start tackling this unit here. I'll just give it a quick once over, a quick bit of maintenance, and send it back into the customer. Okay, so after the initial disassembly, I think this is looking pretty good. Look at this base plate. I mean, it has nearly like no sign of wear. Absolutely perfect condition. I could see that it has been installed in a boat because you can see the witness marks here from the bolts. But so this unit must have had what, hours worth of navigation. That's it. I mean, not a lot. Look at the state of this metering block. It's like pristine. Obviously, we did have a little problem, as you can see, with the gasket. So I need to remove all the gasket material, and I was going to change them anyway, so that's no big deal. Look at the fuel bowl, in really good condition. Now, the only thing I need to do is I need to open here to check what's the condition of the accelerator pump. But given the condition these items are here, I'm willing to take a bet that that's going to be absolutely fine. I'm going to have to change it anyway, because that's part of a kind of service item if you wanna. But other than this looks to be in really good shape. Okay, so now what I'm doing now is I'm starting the process of building back the good marine unit. And one of the important things to check is always the needle and seat assembly, and the way I do it is by giving a few bumps here on the vacuum pump, and there you see that the needle isn't moving, so that means it isn't leaking from there, which is quite important for a marine carb. So now what I need to do is carry on building this fuel bolt. So put back the accelerator pump with a new diaphragm and build the rest of the unit up. So I think I've now managed to deduce what the problem was with this unit, and this came when I tried to when I'm starting to assemble the metering block. Obviously, as I said before, I'm using a brand new 2.5 power valve, which is the correct one according to the manual. But there's an interesting thing here, and it is that the carb came with these jets which are 70, but the manual is telling me that I need 75, yeah, which are this one. So this is one of my golden rules. Whenever I'm putting back a carb together, I'm always putting them back to standard factory specification if it is a standard factory carb. And this is very important because I think with this difference maybe would have been okay, but it's always better to always start with what the factory says in this particular cases, rather than start having ideas about what sort of tuning the carb might need, which is gonna come back in the other carb, in the kind of destroyed carb. I think I worked out why the engine was destroyed. So let's carry on, and now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna put this back together. I'll show it to you when it's fully assembled and ready for dispatch back to the customer. Okay, so here's the completed unit, ready to be sent back to the customer. As you can see, it's all very clean, but crucially now it has the correct setup in terms of jetting, and that is going to result in the customer not losing his boat again. So phase one of this project is complete. Now we need to move on to the more damaged carb. Okay, so it's been a couple of weeks, and as you can see, there's been some progress on the kind of bad carb, that now we are grading that to good carb. But so I'll bring around and I'll show you a couple of things that are quite important for marine carbs. Okay, so one of the things that happened here was that the jetting in this carb was incorrect. And obviously I changed the power valve to a 25 power valve, which is the correct one for this model. But if you look at the jets that came with the carb, they had a 68 and 67, so already they weren't matched. But if you look at the manual, this carb actually needs 75 jets, so it was severely kind of underjetted, and I think that's what was causing an overly lean condition at like high loads, high RPM, and that's what created the engine blow up, and basically the carburetor ended up blowing up the engine, overheating the engine. As you can see here, I did my classic test with my vacuum pump, and this is working fine. And here is the throttle assembly. So you can see, look at this. If you remember from the beginning of the video, this was in absolutely horrendous condition. Now this is absolutely fine. So now what I need to do is I need to kind of button up this unit and get it ready, mask it, and get it ready for paint. Okay, so this is the end result of the carb after it has been painted, because obviously all marine carbs need painting so that, you know, they are protected from corrosion from the sea, from salt water, from water in general. So now this unit is just fully rebuilt, you know, ready to go, ready to kind of plug and play in a boat, jetted correctly this time, not like before. So I'll show you closer so you can see all the elements of the carb. Okay, so as you can see, this choke, I've tested it and functions, you know, it's good enough, so that's all right. And as you can see now, it has a nice kind of uniform color all around. I think this paint might take a little bit more to cure, but it's, you know, it's nearly there. It's touch dry, and crucially, if you look at here, you've got the throttle plates and the base, which is now in good condition, now ready to go. Well, ready to rule the waves, basically. So that's another kind of project done. I want to thank you very much for watching this episode. I mean, if you've got any comments or suggestions, just put down in the comments, and I will see you on the next episode.